Hi there, this is Dani, and the channel's You and Me Living Free. I'm so glad you're here today for Santa Barbara. Oh my gosh. Love this city. Santa Barbara is one of my favorite cities in the whole world that I've been to. A lot of my favorite places these days are more like national parks or very special places in nature. But to me, Santa Barbara will always have a special place in my heart. Look at this, just driving down the road. I cannot even be around a palm tree without it making me in a good mood. I can't do it. It's nearly impossible. So there's so many things that happened to me and that I realized when I was in Santa Barbara. I'm going to have to pick and choose which stories to tell you because you do not want to listen to an hour-and-a-half video, which is probably how long I could talk about this stuff. So let's dig in. I want to tell you that I did wake up this morning in Santa Barbara with a check engine light. I went to the car dealership and found out some things about my car, and I'm going to put all of that at the end of the video. I did not want to start out by doing all that stuff, and just know it's fine, it's okay. And if you're interested, you can watch till the very end of the video or fast forward there and see that stuff. But I really want to focus and spend some time on this time in Santa Barbara because it was amazing. There are so many wonderful things to do in Santa Barbara. When I was here years ago, I spent like 5 days, I think. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, and he was a planner. So he planned out every part of the trip, and we would wake up and he'd be like, well, today we can go for a winery tour, or we can go to visit the mission, or we can go to the art gallery, or go on the whatever, Ojai, or whatever. So I got to do like all of those things when I was here before. So now I just got to come back for my very favorite, which is the harbor. To me, this is the embodiment of all that is wonderful and glorious. You have amazing beach, awesome food, long pier, all the sailboats. It is pretty much impossible to eat. Now, this Brophy Brothers, my boyfriend at the time took me here on our last trip, and I wondered if I had remembered properly and if I would be able to find it, and I did, and I was so happy because it is the best fish and chips I've ever had. Well, not the chips necessarily, they're just regular fries, but the fresh caught cod and that batter that is so crispy but so light you can't believe it is just an amazing combination. And after the morning I had, boy, this was like heaven. After an amazing lunch, I got to walk along the pier. I guess this is the pier. I guess that's what they call it, right? It goes all around the harbor from land and takes you out into the sea. So that's a pier, right? So there's a look back at Brophy's. I don't know if you could tell from the picture, but you sit upstairs and all the windows are wide open. So even though I was sitting inside at the bar, it still felt like I was outside. It still felt like I was part of the harbor and part of everything that was going on outside. So it was like the best of both worlds. So you don't want to be hangry, so it's good to get some food in you. And now I'm walking down the pier. I walked all the way to the end, which is quite a little walk. It's nice and long. And then I found this, which I didn't know existed. And it's just kind of a little trail thing that you take. There's this railroad tie, and it goes in between all of these rocks that are piled up, and it'll take you out across the water to another little beach. So I'm here at Santa Barbara in the harbor, and I just walked down this railroad tie trail that took me from the main pier out here. And it was one of those things like being on a single wide trail, quote unquote road, like going up a mountain, and there's not enough room to turn around. That's what it was like. And but as soon as I got on it, I realized, I can turn around or I can keep going, but if I'm going to keep going, I want to, get there and go the whole way. And I I didn't even record most of the railroad tie because it was taking all my faculty. I didn't want to mess up and lose my step, because it wouldn't mean death probably, but there's huge craggy scratchy rocks, and I could have easily broken an ankle or something and just been in a lot of trouble. So but cute. So this guy and his two kids were coming the other way, and it's really just a single wide, right? But there are a few places where the rocks are kind of flat enough where if you wanted to, you could step off the railroad tie onto a rock. Well, he and his two kids both, I think they could tell I was scared, and I was being very cautious and very slow. And he and his two girls stepped off and to the side, and he said, yeah, it's really like a single wide. And I said, yeah. I said, and especially when one of us is a scaredy cat, I really appreciate you guys all three, stepping over on that rock. And he goes, you are the opposite of a scaredy cat. He goes, you are out here walking on the railroad ties. It made me cry. Isn't that sweet? All right, so I've just got a couple of more pictures that I managed to take from somewhere safe, just to show some of the way this trail was. It was kind of interesting and different, but not without its own little challenges. So, and you can kind of see how long it is if you can see that other beach down there. But I was proud of myself, and it's important to do things that make us proud of ourselves, right? And it's a good feeling to be proud of ourselves. And I love that little bench. It's a little bench that looks like the end of a whale. So love that. And here we are back to the harbor. We're going to be walking back the other direction. But I am in love with Santa Barbara. Now, part of it is just that Santa Barbara is freaking awesome. Another part of it is, though, that I have good feelings about Santa Barbara because of the last time I was here. And I was thinking about this as I was walking around Santa Barbara, and as I was getting ready to go to Santa Barbara, and why I wanted to go there is because when I was here, when I was in that relationship, and he's a wonderful man and I'm wonderful, but it didn't work out together. But it was one of the few relationships I have ever had where I felt truly nurtured and taken care of. I've always been the nurturer. I'm more of the giver in most of my relationships. And I felt so completely taken care of and cherished and nurtured in this relationship. And to me, I think that Santa Barbara almost came to symbolize that kind of care and nurturing and just fun when you can have all of that together. Like, it just had such good energy. So it did not make me miss this old boyfriend, but what it did was it made me ask myself, how can I make myself feel valued and nurtured and taken care of and cherished? I think that's such a great question. And whatever it is, like you're feeling like you need in life that you wish someone else would give you, just ask how you can give it to yourself. This has been so profound for me. And because I feel like, a lot of times we do all this growth stuff and we read all these books and we do all this searching and blah, blah, blah. But really, every day, life is handing us what we need to learn and to grow right in front of us. And so if we can break these things down as they come up, I think that, it is kind of almost the ultimate way to do it and to really grow. Okay, enough about all that stuff. You guys really got me going on that. Here is just a nice little splash of water. Which I just enjoyed, and I was happy to have caught it on film because I was sitting, I videoed so much of this pier, and up until then I hadn't had a splash come up. And all that was before we get to the very best part, which is always walking on the beach. It's always having the feet in the sand, being there with the waves, the smell of the sea. I mean, I don't think that there's a time in my life where I feel more alive when I than when I'm walking on a beach. Like, to me, the sea is life. Is like, you know, what I was saying before makes me feel like part of this unity, part of the fabric of the all that is. Like, I feel more connected to that and to everything around me and to life when I am right here, right now, just like this, with my feet in the water and in the toes in the sand and just kind of splashing around. This is probably the happiest that I ever get, is honestly, is walking just like this. And those are some happy feet right there.
Right onto South Ontario
And then just
Street.
like that, it's time to drive back to the campground. So this was actually a little RV park. It is right in Santa Barbara. You can see this is like a little residential neighborhood, but we're going to be right next to the highway, right next to 101. You'll see that in just a minute. What can I say about this park? I booked at the very last minute, so I was happy that they had something. It's extremely challenging to find somewhere where you can park in coastal California. It just is. I can't tell you how many listings I looked at iOverlander, and they'd have a listing and then it would say, this site has been marked as closed. Or it would be like, I know that Santa Barbara actually has an ordinance against sleeping in your car. You're not allowed to sleep in your car here. So when someone put on iOverlander, oh, this is the end of a dead end street and nobody bothered us, I'm like, are you kidding me? So those are kind of what your options are when you're in coastal California. It gets easier, of course, when you're inland, but it was pay for the RV spot or nothing. You're pretty much gonna have to do that. At least that's all I was comfortable doing. If you're comfortable being stealth and stuff, I'm sure there are places to be found. But this place was literally like $60 on the Thursday night and $70 on the Friday night that I stayed. Again, expensive, but it was right in town and I was happy to have it. That wall that you see is literally the wall next to the highway. You can hear the highway noise in the background. Didn't sound bad at the moment, but wait till a semi or a motorcycle or somebody goes by. And then for some reason, the person next to me had a dog that I swear to you barked all night long. Again, any campground, any RV place, not my favorite, but sometimes it's the best option. And then here are just a few pics and stuff of the laundry facilities and the showers and everything, which were all clean and cheap and really good. No complaints there actually whatsoever. Small but smells super clean, or like bleach. And somebody's really scrubbed it down. Can't wait to take a shower after a day at the beach. And then, as promised, here at the end is my saga with the van that very morning. So here goes. So I'm sitting in the Toyota dealership in Santa Barbara and waiting to hear what's wrong with my car. The check engine light came on. I'm hoping it's something simple, but boy, the waiting. Because the reality is, you know, that van's got 227,000 miles on it. I know it's old. I know it leaks just a little bit of oil, but God, I'm just so, I'm cautiously optimistic, but there's a part of me that just wants to cry when I think about, because I'm in Santa Barbara, like what would I do? Like my mind's going through all these scenarios. Like I could, like if the van's done for, if it needs a new engine or something, I could get a plane ticket back to Kansas City, right? But then I've got all my stuff in the van. I don't know, I don't even want to think about any of that. I was keeping myself really busy working on my YouTube videos and thumbnails and stuff, and Now that that's all done, I'm kind of like sitting here stewing in my thoughts. I'm going to see if I can try to read my book for a little bit and see if I can get into it enough to get my mind off of everything, because it's not really doing any good, you know. There's no one else here in the waiting room. I still need to wear my mask, but there's two outdoor waiting areas, but they don't have plugins for my computer and my phone. So I'm sitting inside with my mask and God, just hoping and praying and sending some good vibes out into the universe. Praising the dependability of my Toyota. Please, please, please. So I just realized and looked at my phone. It's November 11th, or 11/11. It is also 11:11 a.m. I'm taking this as a positive sign that no matter what is happening is right on track, and it is going to be fine. I hope. Jesus. 11:11 on 11/11? Are you kidding me? How could it be anything but fine? No matter what they say. The longer I wait, the more I worry, though. Like if it were something simple, it would have gotten back to me, but I don't know. Hi there, I am back with an update on the van, and this is hours later. I was able to get the main problem with the van fixed. That was nothing to do with the engine, thank goodness. It had to do with an ignition coil, I believe it's called. I'm not going to look at my receipt and everything. It was about a $600 problem, but while they were looking at that, they realized I have another problem with a coolant leak, and they say it is a slow leak. It is a $2,000 problem to fix, and I should be okay to get home. I'm going to buy a bottle of coolant just in case it starts running low. I'm going to take a safe route home and not go off on any crazy excursion to a bunch of BLM places that are too far from the highway and that are off the beaten path. I'm going to stay safe for a bit, and we will just hope that all is going to be just fine. And I don't know if I can say I'm confident it will, but I'm pretty confident. I feel good that we can do that we can get home. I'm going to take it nice and slow going home, lots and lots of stops. There's still lots of stuff I want to see that is on the way that I want to stop at, so there'll be plenty more of that that I'm excited about, but I am ready to head toward home anyway. So I didn't want to make a big deal out of this, so I'm just putting it at the end of my video. I went ahead and made the most of my day because today's my last day in Santa Barbara, and I hadn't done much, so I really needed to get out there and enjoy today, and I really, really did. I had just a fantastic day. And I love Santa Barbara. And, all right, enough of that. If you're still here, thank you so much. Sending you tons of love, and I'll catch you next time.